Now, Ron's come here today because he wants to try and sell some of his Telstra shares, which a lot of elderly people would probably like to do. And he's asking a couple of questions. Firstly, how much of this big folder here he can throw out. Let's have a quick look without showing you Ron's details.
Of it.
And any other company that he's got an investment in will have the same sort of shares. Sorry, same amount of paperwork. Now, can I show them your junky mail? Oh yes, this is some of the junky mail. It is change of address notification. You can see it's got no figure work. Ron didn't fill it in and take a copy. So we throw that out. That's straight away in the rubbish. No harm whatsoever in getting rid of that. Now, what else was in that big file? Please, Ron,
Oh,
can
right,
you have a look? Yeah.
Yes, goodness.
A few
Lots of
things.
information about the shares and goodness knows.
Oh, and this one, this is an original pre-printed standard form. It just says chess sponsorship agreement. If you need it, you can download it at another time, but you're not going to. Throw it out. Okay. Security holder proxy form. This is about voting. My son actually asked me, Mum, who has control of the directors the other day? Because I was telling him that... No, I won't go into that. I'm writing a book and it's got some information in it. But basically, this is your way of controlling your shares and what you want done. So you can vote or you can abstain. You can use that to control your vote for your shares and make a difference with the company you've invested in. That's the proxy form. Oh, this is just junk.
There's another set of it here, so that can go out to it, yes. This is all annual meeting stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, annual meeting stuff. Oh, that's bulky. They actually often send you forms saying, do you want to get rid of these?
Yes, they
And
do.
the answer is, if you're not the type of person who's an accountant, who can read it, who wants to know, oh yes, they've invested overseas somewhere, they're doing well, throw it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go out to...
Again, annual general meeting, you'll have one for every single year. Right?
I do.
That's the one where you get to vote if you want to go to the meeting
I
and
nearly
make a difference.
I nearly went to one of those meetings at
Did you?
one stage. Well, they had afternoon tea and all, goodness me.
Okay. Actually, they do put on a bit of a spread, don't they?
do. Here's some more of it. But
Very good.
That's,
Yeah, more junk.
oh, my
It's
junk's
just-
gone.
Oh,
Goodness.
where did we put all the rest of that folder? Oh, there was a big thick folder. Did I bring it down and put it over there somewhere? Okay.
I think that's all. That's the
I
rubbish.
think that's what's happened. Hang on a second. So,
Yes, the annual meeting material is
fairly very much
bulky.
junk.
Yeah, and the fact that we have three
Yep, more
lots,
junk.
which we won't mention specifics.
No, we won't mention specifics at all. Okay, again, proxy stuff. Do you want to vote?
No thanks.
No thanks. Now here's some other things that are, I'm not going to show you the details of them, but I'll just describe it to you. It's a dividend notification from 2003, Ron, and it just says that Ron's received a dividend and it says he was banked into his bank account. Now that's important. If it was banked into your bank account or you got a cheque, it says there's a cheque attached and you can see where you've torn off that cheque. Sometimes it says that and you haven't been able to tear off a cheque, so that wasn't true. Then, because it's so old, if it's definitely over 5 years old, then throw it out. Generally, at Ron's age, he would be able to throw it out after 3 years of age. 3 years past the end of your tax return.
Fair
that
enough,
relates
yeah.
to. But if, and this is really important, if it says the dividend was reinvested into shares and it gives you an indication of how many shares you got, don't throw it out until you sell well, not even when you sell the shares themselves. You have to hang on to it for another 3 to 5 years, depending on your situation, after the end of the financial year that you sell them in. So therefore, dividend reinvestments, that's the crucial thing to look for. Now, Ron hasn't got that, so that's an old dividend statement. It can actually be binned. All right, so he's going to get rid of a heck of a lot of those. Yes, 100% certain. Okay, now I'll just get your other folder and tell them what is important to keep. Might have left it upstairs. Do you want to tell everyone some of your lovely jokes?
Well, I could tell them about when my wife and I, we married 54 years ago, and we met actually in a revolving door, and we've been going around together ever since. And some people say we met in a travel agency and I was her last resort. But it's being old, we sometimes walk down the streets holding hands, and sometimes people come up to us and say, you must love each other very much, the way you hold hands all the time. And I usually say, well, the truth is, if we didn't hold hands, we'd both fall over. So we have to be aware of the fact that we're both getting on in years. And you can have a guess at my age. Some people think I'm 21, but there are others who think I'm older than that.
Sorry, I left my glasses behind, which I need, even though I'm only 52.
And now she's making a spectacle of herself.
Thanks very much. You can all see why I love him.
I hope I'm not being charged for all this time.
No, you don't get a bill. You know that.
My fee for appearing on television is pretty great, but I might give her a discount.
This is a free website.
Oh, is it?
That's what I'm making.
Oh,
free advice to anyone who needs it. Sorry, Ron. Okay, now Ron wants to set up a Commsec account, and he rang up Commsec when I suggested he do so. I'm just going to do what I did before and Google. Sorry, this is a little awkward for me to see here. I can't see the mouse, that's the problem. I might put screenshots in here so that you can see them better and talk over it later. But basically all I did was Google Commsec. So I've typed in Commsec, you can just see where the mouse is up the top line. And then I've gone apply now. And we've read through these. Now Ron's found that they thought he was going to sell all his shares all at one time. And if he wants to do that, they sent him some forms that he can do that on. But he doesn't want to sell them all at once. He just wants to...
I just want to sell around about a third of them.
Yeah. So he doesn't need to do a one-time trade, which they told him would cost $130.
Right.
So he can go straight from my office down the street to the Watsonia Commonwealth Bank and set up an account through the Commonwealth Bank so that he can use Commsec. He just needs an account that he can use net banking system with and Commsec, and they'll do that for him, and then he only has to pay $20 per trade, and it's the first option. See, Ron? So
yes,
we click on the apply now because we're assuming he's got his account.
We're assuming that because I will in the next day or two put one into effect.
And look, it's probably going to take you a while to read through all that. You're going to probably need to download some forms. And to be honest, I found it difficult when I first set it up. There's a few confusing things myself. What I did learn is that it takes a week to process. So you can't sell your shares instantly. You're going to need a week's time to do it. I had to set up a Commsec account, put $10 in it, and then I needed help. I just rang them, spent half an hour on the phone, got it all sorted, and I don't want to bore anyone with half an hour of that sort of thing.
Right.
So, but the important thing is, it's cheaper to not do the one-off trade, but if you really need to sell them very quickly, that's the whole idea of the one-off trade. So, yeah, that's an option, but I think that's the wrong document, and we'll get the right one organised, and probably they would have it at the bank.
I imagine they wouldn't.
Yeah, they must. They do work together. They're linked in some way. Now, what they told Ron that he would need to set up this one-off account is proof of his shares. The holding statement, and I won't show it to you. We look for the most recent holding statement for all the different names that Ron and his wife have their shares in, and they've got 3. And so we've gone through that, found the chess document. Ron's been joking with me about playing chess. Do I know how? I won't turn that over.
No, right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, well, you can see what's on the back. This sort of thing is on the back.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And what Ron's going to do after he... Sorry, Ron, I keep giving it to you. He's going to go down to the local police station with a photocopy that I'm going to make for him, or you could get it anywhere, and he's going to go to the local police station, walk in their door with the photocopy and the original, and ask them to certify it so he can hang on to his original and he never loses that. Wonderful. And he can always do it again. You can do it at a doctor's, a pharmacy. He can do it here, but you're not meant to really do this sort of thing for your own clients. And as I told Ron, I'd never bothered to get myself a stamp.
Now you believe that this is the only material I need to
satisfy
their requirements?
Commsec. That's the proof of your shares. We won't turn that up, Ron.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So now, for your accountant and what you need to keep, we have... Sorry, don't want to show too much. How to describe this? It actually says Telstra 2 share offer final payment, notice of final instalment payment, and it's got quantity of shares, the rate they were bought at, and the total amount that Ron paid. So you're looking for lots of money recorded on it. It is not a dividend statement, and it shows that you bought them. And it's the most important thing for an accountant to see. Never throw them out until 5 years after you have sold them.
So that's Telstra 2, and there's some Telstra 1 in
Yeah.
there.
Now, those holder statement things, you'll see lots of different changes with Telstra over the time because they were initially issued as only partly paid. So they changed from partly paid shares to ordinary shares. And so basically that doesn't matter. You can toss them out so long as you keep the most recent for every set. But if you want to just play it safe, it's not too many extras to keep in your file. So I think Ron's the type who'd like to play it safe by the way he has kept so many of these.
Let's stay with that one.
Now, of course, any of those payment details, absolutely keep them for your accountant. Chess don't need to see them, I don't think. They'll tell you over the phone though, but I really don't think they do. They want that issuer holder statement from Chess. Holding statements. Okay. Here there's a statement of allotment. That's another one you keep. When it's got quantity and particularly money, that is really important. Yeah, so, and it's not just a plain old dividend notice where the money went into your bank account straight away. This one here is a...
Oh, there's 3 of those, aren't there?
Yeah, this is where they transferred from one to another when they were instalments. It can go out, sorry, because it's long ago. It doesn't have to be kept. Share certificate receipt. It's just a covering letter that came with his share certificate. It's not necessary. Confirmation of allotment notice. Yeah, that's a good one. Keep that.
You just put one out.
No, this one's... See, there's a difference.
The other one.
I won't show it.
No,
This is...
previous one.
No, that's not a confirmation of allotment. This is a instalments receipt. It's the quantity. This one shows the holding balance and then the decrease, and it shows the balance at the end, and it's 0. And this relates to just the instalment receipts in the beginning when they changed over from the instalment receipts to the ordinary ones.
I might hold that in my file.
All right.
Sorry.
You're welcome to.
Case.
You're welcome to.
Just in case.
It doesn't matter. Okay, some more of those
Should be the third
important
one.
ones.
Yep.
Now, dividend notices, all you're checking for with dividend notices is the year and the banking instructions. See both of those, too old, throw it out. Okay? So there's a massive amount in here that can be thrown out. Just about everything from here on down can go in your fireplace, in your shredder. If you want to take a chance on throwing it in the bin, you can. Here, oh, this one's a nice one to keep. It's a little bit of extra information. It's just about the fact that they've received a cheque for X amount from Ron and his wife. Okay? So that's another thing that can prove how much you paid for your shares if you can't find every little skerrick of information. So that's the main thing.
If I need to give my chess.
You want to play chess, do you?
Something relative to chess, or
No, remember,
there's nothing here
so
to say.
this is pretty much, we're going to double check it when we finish, but that's the side that goes out, and this is the tiny little pile that Ron gets to keep.
Okay.
Isn't that nice, Ron?
Just lovely, and these are the most important ones.
Yeah, they're the most important ones for chess.
All over it.
Okay, now just a few things. Chess people will, Commsec people on the phone will tell you about how to buy and sell shares.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very easy. You can go in and they'll help you. And they'll tell you that you can, so actually we're making them do a lot of work for their $20 because the phone call is worth, a lot of time. And I can't show you mine because it'd show you my shares, and I don't want to do that.
Would you like to tell me about them?
No.
Sorry, folks.
Sorry, guys. Don't have a lot.
I think the main purpose of this screening of our interview here is to point out that there are many people who have lots of documentation, not necessarily sure what to do with it all. So you tend to hang on to it, or at least I do, or did, and have somebody such as Sue to guide us as to what is the most useful and important material to hang on to. Otherwise you finish up with cupboards full of paperwork, and that's why she's just...
Yeah. Ron told me he had masses of these folders. I told him he could send some my way. I'm running out of space. That's why you're seeing me on my visitor's side of my desk, because if I turn the...
very clean and tidy desk.
Only because the piles are all behind the camera. Literally.
I wasn't going to say that.
Well, anyone who's watched my other DVD has seen my kitchen and everywhere else. But I did get my kitchen tidied a little bit last night. Only because my son couldn't find one piece of wood this big that he needed for his woodwork project, and it was hidden under...
Under something.
Yes, something I pulled out yesterday.
Okay, well that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen.
And I hope this hasn't been too long a DVD.
I wish you well in the future.
And just give Commsec a call and they'll tell you how you can set a price and say, I don't want to sell under this, I want to sell when the price of the shares gets to $10.
Yeah, well,
that'd be lovely.
Wonderful.
So you can set all sorts of things in there, so that you don't have to keep looking every day for the right price.
That's right. Well,
you can say these are for sale at this price.
Well, that is a good idea, because shares can be a nightmare, and you can become very disappointed and discouraged, especially if it's going well, and then you start to get excited and think, now I should be able to do something with that if I sold them, and then suddenly down it goes,
No.
and you think, so, oh, will it ever come up again?
Yeah. We had news the other day, I think it was Friday or Thursday, that the market went down, and I thought, oh, I knew I had to sell some shares a while ago. I was sick of them.
Yeah.
They had not done well.
Yeah.
And I said to my son, it's time to get rid of these.
Yeah.
They've not done well. They've stayed the same. I've gained nothing in years and years and years. Other lot, they just paid me $2,000. It was lovely, a distribution and I haven't got much with them.
They gave you 2,000
for the end of June distribution, and I had less than $10,000 invested with them, and they paid me $2,000. I thought, thank you very much. I can pay for my kids to go to Hillsong and all sorts of things. It was so nice.
That's great, isn't it, when that happens?
What mine are managed investments, so they're units in trusts, and I rely on other people to keep watching the shares at the right time for me, and that's why I got that payment at that point in time.
That's great. That's great. Well, that's good news. It won't be long before Sue's off to Hawaii again.
Beg your pardon?
I thought
Hawaii?
with all that money she's got to spend it somehow or other.
Ron, I've never been overseas. I don't even own a passport. I can't afford to. I'm sorry.
Tasmania's a good place overseas.
Look, I probably could, but I would have little left
I know,
if I did.
understand. Yeah.
So, no,
Well,
that's not for me. I do too much work for nothing.
I know you do. You're a wonderful girl. Well, thank you. I'll take this out. Cheerio, everyone.